just like came out of me in a way that usually was a little bit harder to access in different projects, and a little bit not difficult, but just, you have to do your little actor thing and get into the headspace and everything. With this, it just felt so natural. Just actually listening and being present was totally enough.
Guys, give it up for the crew from Bob Trevino Likes It. Right here. It's a little thing we do. It's a little thing we do before yapping. Guys, I was just raving to you about how much I love this movie. Congrats to you all. It is a special, special film. You guys are making South by cry ugly tears all over the place. So congrats on that. Tracie, you wrote and directed this beautiful film. Set it up for us. Who is Bob Trevino, and what does he like, and why?
Bob Trevino, he's inspired by a friend I found on the internet when I was looking for my father. My father had, kind of gotten angry and disappeared, and I was trying to reconnect with him, and I accidentally friended another man on the internet with his name when I was looking for him. So
this is a true story.
It is. It's inspired by a true story and a true friendship, and that man was more fatherly to me than my dad ever was. So.
Wow. I mean, for you guys as cast, did you know how personal this was when you read this script? Like, what sort of impact does that have on you guys as actors coming on to something when it's not just a great script, but when it's so true to life?
Yeah, when I first read it, I just thought it was so beautiful and so nuanced, and I was like, this is so honest. And when you read a script like that, it just is so special, and it's like when it really affects you, even just on the page, you don't even see anything. And I didn't know it was based off Tracie's life until we started talking, and then I was like, oh my God, I didn't know the extent of it. You didn't really know, and then we were talking about our own lives, and just everything in the film, Tracie has made sure was honest to their life, to everyone's life, like that is universal, but also specific, which I think is really cool in filmmaking. Sometimes when you get too vague, it doesn't hit, and I think with this one, it's both universal and special and personal, Mm-hmm. So I love that combo.
Yeah. John and French, what did you guys connect with about this story?
I mean, you just connect with the story because it's about doing one beautiful thing in life, just if you do one positive thing in life, it has all these ramifications that do good around the world. And when you watch this movie, it hits you so hard. Now I'm choking up. When we did the first read through, it just hit me so hard because I had read it and it moved me. But when we did the read through and everybody was flesh and blood and a real character, you were laughing so hard and you were crying so hard all at the same time because of how specific and real the piece is.
Mm-hmm. French, how about you?
Yeah, it hit me the same way. I think the notion of you find your family, a lot of people can grab onto because Tracie and I, we had talked about it, and we both have sort of narcissistic biological fathers, and I was lucky to get a good stepfather who came in and did a lot of heavy lifting. And I think that resonates with a lot of people, that you surround yourself with the people who are actually your family and not just some sort of biological connection.
Yeah, no, this is a film that's going to hit all of us with daddy issues hard. Sorry, I'm like sharing too much. Sorry.
It's all about sharing.
We're yapping. We're yapping away. Tracie, casting was so key, and you knocked it out of the park with your protagonist here. What made Barbie so right for this role?
Oh my gosh! Well, everything about Barbie was right for this. I was looking. She's such a positive person. She's able to experience the joys in life fully. Yet Lily's not a doormat. She's a survivor. She has learned ways to cope and with humor and wit and kindness. And so. Barbie personally has all of that, and of course I've watched her work, and I saw such vulnerability and euphoria, and I was like, stay on her all the time, she's incredible, and so I was like, I just want to make a movie all about her, and I'd seen her wit in a lot of her other work, wit and humor, and I just thought, let's just put all this, that's Lily, that's Lily completely, and so when I met with her, it only confirmed everything I already knew was true.
Barbie, how did you connect with Lily?
I mean, I connected with Lily in so many ways, including daddy issues. It's funny because it's something that I don't really explore, even in my personal life and especially in the public sphere. It's something that's so vulnerable, and working on this project has just been, even when we got there, the table read was so emotional and so fun. And, I've never really had a role that connected so much that all of my emotions were at the forefront. It was like not at all any work to get there, and I think it's just because of how much I connected with Tracie's story and how much we have a connection and how much we all have a connection, where I feel for these characters in a way that, like, they're real humans, because it is based off a true story. It is based off of reality, and I can relate to so much of it, and even the things I don't relate to, it just hits so deep with me. So finding Lily was spending a lot of time with Tracie and talking through like what we wanted her to be and what we didn't want her to be, and kind of building from there. And then when we got to set, it all just kind of unfolds, and especially having such an incredible co-stars, it's like we get to like play off of each other, and it was even better than I thought it could be. And it was emotional, it was funny, it was just, finding Lily was super therapeutic for me, and also kind of not very hard in a way that made it just so it made so much sense to do it, and to make sure that we make the story good and vulnerable and have such just for Tracie, we all love Tracie. We love Tracie so much, and I wanted so much to make sure that this character was a representation that she wanted, and that we all can relate to. So it was a really fun experience.
The opening scene, speaking of emotional, is striking. You are sobbing into the camera. What can you guys say about filming that? How did you capture that? Can you cry on demand? Were there onions involved? How did you nail that?
Honestly, I am not a crying on command kind of girl, but with this movie, it just, when it made sense, it completely just like came out of me in a way that usually was a little bit harder to access in different projects, and a little bit not difficult, but just, you have to do your little actor thing and get into the headspace and everything. With this, it just felt so natural. Just actually listening and being present was totally enough. So while I was there, it was like just being present. Did the work before, and then throw that out, and you go there and you're present and you feel every story. And no matter how many times I would do a scene, it still was so emotional to me, and I couldn't help but cry and just sob, because the story is just so real, and it hits all these parts of my brain that I think I haven't even really explored. So this movie really was, again, therapeutic, and just opened up a lot in me, I think.
As a writer director, like how do you approach that with an actor? Now you're gonna sob for us right now.
Well, I think you never want to be result driven. You don't want to give hey, cry.
And never works.
Yeah.
I don't think it ever. Unless you're a specific person.
So I think we collaborated, we set it up. We knew where the character was coming from. We knew what she was experiencing, and so I think if you set it up right, it's a natural thing. And that actually wasn't originally the opening scene, but when we were shooting that, I said, "Holy cow!" I don't want to say it's here. This is it.
We're unrated.
Yeah. This is it. This is the new opening image, because she brought it. She showed up and she brought it in such a way that I said, this has to be the opening shot. So that's the kind of collaboration that we had, where it's unfolding as we go. We know what we're doing and how we get there together.
French your Bob is he's not the most likable guy. He's not the most likable guy out there. How'd you go about humanizing him?
One conversation that Tracie and I had over and over again is that everybody is the hero of their own story. And you have to believe that you are honestly the one who is being put out in all of this. And then the rest of it was just learning lines. So the older you get, you fight the lines, and so I knew we had, a short amount of time to do it, and how hard Tracie had worked on it, and how good everybody was. And so I just, on the day, really wanted to have my lines in my pocket and just right in there, so I could just talk and listen to Barbie and listen to Tracie and be malleable. And that's it, and then try and make him a person who he's the wronged one. So
yeah. And then John, you're very lovable, by the way, in this film.
So I've heard.
What sort of unique challenges did this one present you?
Well, you know, not to make my Bob so perfect either. You know, that was what me and Tracie were trying to work on, is like, because nobody's perfect. So how do you make this good dad not be just an angel? You know what I mean? Like, so we found, you know, his little hints of depression, you know, his sort of withheld sorrow, you know, a little bit of anger issues that he sits on his emotions a lot. So we just found these little subtle ways of giving him this backstory in this other life, that so he's not perfect, but you also, I mean, I came from a narcissistic, toxic father, so that's what I chose not to be in my life. You know, obviously I through lots of therapy since I was 17, but you can choose to be a great dad, and you can work on it. So that's Bob Trevino is kind of like the dad that I am in real life. So I got a chance to be myself. Actually, is what I did.
Yeah.
Which is, so it's not much.
And the relationship between you two, I mean, it's just the heart and the soul of the film. What can you two say about inspiring each other as actors in this film?
Oh wow! I mean, to work with Barbie, I mean, it was one thing what you read on the page, this Lily, and then when you see Barbie in it, and she's so present and she's so there, and you know, it's such a joy to work with an actor who's so there at the moment and willing to you know, just change with whatever you're giving them back and forth. It's just joy and joy.
Oh, thank you, John. John's a legend, so I was very intimidated. I'm not gonna lie. I remember telling my family, I was like, John Leguizamo, they were like, oh, gasp, you know what I mean? So I went, when I went there, I was so excited to work with you, because I feel like I always love learning and observing and seeing how people work, especially people who've been in the business longer than me, because I feel like such a rookie sometimes and kind of just walking in like, ooh, I don't know what's going on, you know? So it's just always incredible to like watch people in their craft and how, and just how inspiring it could be. I mean, working with these icons has just been so rewarding, and I've learned so much and I've unlocked so much, and just, it was a wealth of knowledge. It was amazing. It was so sweet and tender to have our moments, and it was just so fun to do it too. Even during the, you know, not so fun emotional times, I think for me it was fun because at the end, it's like I got something off my chest in a way that was so real. It wasn't like I ended the scene and I'm like, okay, on to the next one. It was like like something came over me, and you know, I worked through something through this character. Which I'm sure that's the actors be doing too, but it was an incredible just experience to work with people who are so good, and so I had to step it up. I had to bring it. I had to bring it.
Oh, you brought it. You
brought it.
You know, we do these films. Independent films is like the reason I got into the film business, was to do these kind of films, not the big commercial ones, not, you know, that you do that for a paycheck, but these are the ones that are character driven, that are about the human condition, and when they're beautifully written like this, they just, your acting just comes naturally. You don't have to try. You don't have to like beat yourself up or depress yourself. You just have to hand yourself over to a project like this.
It's been a big year for Barbies.
I know the Hey Barbies.
Yeah. Are you getting that? Were you a big fan? Are you happy of about the Barbie revolution right now? Are you rooting for it at the Oscars tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I love the movie. It's just so funny because you know, everything was Barbie for a second, and when your name is Barbie, then you're kind of like
it's everywhere.
And I was like, hey, what's up? But it's like actually not me at all. It's not about me at all. So I loved the film, and it was just so fun, and just like everything I would want to see now and when I was a kid, and even later in life. So I'm happy it happened. But the Hello Barbie thing and the Barbie everywhere. Hi Barbie, hi Barbie. I was like, okay, it's a tough time to have the name Barbie. It's a tough time. It's a tough time right now, but it'll pass. So now, you know, it's like we got the Barbie, we got Barbie Ferreira. I knew what I was doing. You know, Barbie isn't a random nickname.
Oscars are tonight. Anything Barbie's up for? Anything or anything you guys are rooting for tonight in particular?
I think it's really funny that you make this movie about empowerment, and the one guy who gets nominated is Ken.
Yeah.
It's just so
that was really unfortunate.
It's almost like double good that way. In a way. It's like we made this point.
Right.
It took billions of dollars to make this point again.
You guys, thank you so much for being here. Again, I just truly love this film. I can't wait for everybody to see it. It's just going to play like gangbusters. So big congrats to you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank you
you.
all for the chat.
Thank you.